What's up, everybody? How's everyone's 4th of July? Everybody have some good times? Eat a bunch of barbecue and watermelon and blow a bunch of shit up? What's up, brand new? Marco? How y'all doing, fellas? Anybody sleep in past 11 o'clock this morning? My wife Mrs. Urban had to get up and go to work this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, so glad that wasn't me. My ass would have not have been able to do it. Like, really, truly, there's no way I could have done that. Cause I didn't go to bed until close to 1:30. Yeah, 1:30 in the morning, and and yeah, like that was brutal. There's no way in hell I could have gotten up that damn early this morning and go to work. So, unfortunately, because of my wonderful job, I have not worked in like 10 days. It's just not gonna make a very pretty paycheck, but hey, is what it is. I am actively searching and hoping for a new job sooner than later. But of course, there's no guarantees on how soon that may happen. I'm unpacking all the knives that I took with me uh, when I went to those church ruins. If you haven't seen that video, I know a number of y'all have. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, sir? Everybody saying hey to each other as y'all slowly come in. I know how it is. If you had to also go to work today, I know that this is kind of a hard time slot to get in if you're at work. Or in B&A's case, usually you're always driving home on your way home from wherever. Man, I need to either get rid of some knives or I don't know. I got to do something to improve my knife storage because I am getting maxed out again already. Already. Like, I just bought this new cabinet, Harbor Freight um, tool chest, the wood tool chest. I just bought this last one, what, not even maybe a year ago, year and a half ago? And it's pretty maxed out, almost totally maxed out at this point. Well, I have some drawers in here that just have like random stuff, random other stuff in it. I have that one there, and then I have this one here that's got Olight pens and a couple of their longer flashlights and stuff, and batteries and screws. And I actually do have a little bit of room left. And of course, I added down below here at the desk is my little pull-out keyboard tray that I installed, where I've got where I keep my Lancelot leather EDC food tray. And as you can see, there's a couple of other gifts in here, like this guy. Very cool. Love that. Uh-oh. The hell did my computer do again? Hold up. Let me back out. I don't want my computer hiccuped. There we go. Am I back? Am I good? I don't know. My computer's acting funny randomly all the time now. I don't know what the deal is, if it's got a virus or something. But yeah, so I got my little Lancelot EDC tray where I've got a bunch of stuff there, and then I've got my Harbor Freight little silicone molded mat, and I keep some of my bits in, and screwdriver, and my little pokey. I got this little skull bead. I forget who gave this to me. Somebody sent this in a package to me. Another hex bit thing, and then I've got this guy, which is proven handy a handful of times. It's been handy. Again, for like less than $10, this thing is pretty nifty in the fact that it's got all your bits there in the handle, and they fold out. A nice little ratchet deal. And I've got this is the Tops knife oil, pivot oil, and then the CDC paste. This is your blade paste, which kind of acts as a wax, which also works fantastic. And I haven't mentioned this to Luke or anybody with the CDC guys, but this also is great for your metal zippers, like your brass and copper zippers, or even stainless steel zippers. But it acts as a great obvious barrier to rust or corrosion, but also works as a great lubricant for those zippers, those really robust metal tracked zippers. So I've actually used it on that, along with a couple of my EDC fixed blades. But yeah, so in fact, I need to clean this guy. The edge is a little dirtied up on this guy. I need to clean this off and coat it again. It's always good to try to stay on top of that, because I'm terrible at staying on top of that. But yeah, so the CDC blade paste is nice stuff, good stuff. I need to strop him. I need to clean him, strop him, and recoat him with protective knife blade paste. But I love this knife. This thing's awesome. This is the Tops El Pionero, and I got it with the I dyed the handle. There's a video on this knife where I talk about doing that. And it's in that dark midnight blue. It's actually a little bit darker than the Knoll Knives Voodoo that I did that midnight blue on my Micarta on this guy. But in person, these things, the color actually looks really, really close. They go with each other very well. They look really sick. I'm gonna have to take some photos of these knives just sitting together, because yeah, they look sick. The midnight blue is just like perfection. I love it. I love how awesome both of these came out with that midnight blue color. And blue's not even my favorite color, but they look sick. They definitely give it that dark, mysterious, like New Orleans voodoo-y black magic vibes, with a skull being on one of them, and then the other one just being named the Voodoo. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Another news is I got a new hat. My new hat finally came in. Came all the way from China, of course, made overseas. But hey, what can you do? But yeah, it's like a burnt brown felt. I'm working on. It's all week. I've had it like tied up to try to mold or shape the edges, because when it came out of the box, this side, if you can tell, is a little more curved than this side. There's more curve on it, and so I've tried to strap it up. I really ideally, what needs to be done is I need to take it to one of those places, which I don't know where or how far away the closest place would be, to have the shops that actually steam and shape and mold the hats the way you want them to be. But yeah, so when I got this, obviously the one side was not as curved up as the other one. In fact, it was actually pretty much almost totally flat. But also, this is the back, and the back kind of had I'm quite certain, just from shipping, it kind of was curved up, bent up a little bit, and so I attached a weight there and had it sitting on a stand with a weight on the back brim. So as you can see, it just needs properly shaped with those machines. Is would be the right way to do it. But other than that, once I get that done, I think it's an awesome hat. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep the damn feather deal. Um, I don't know if it's really me. It might grow on me, uh, but B&A Midnight Blue. Woo! Yeah. So yeah, hopefully this proves to be a really nice addition to my Western hat, cowboy hat lineup. I need to, if I buy another, then after the next two, I'm gonna have to make another rack and find a spot on the wall somewhere for another rack for these types of hats, because you can't hang these up in just anywhere. You gotta have a specially designed Western wide brimmed hat rack for these. What do you use your the Wicked Wax? What are you talking about on your knife blades? Is that an actual steel? It sounds familiar. Like I may have even used it in the past for like my hatchets and machetes and stuff. What up, Dwayne? How's it going, man? How's it going? Howdy doody, y'all. Ginger Fisher in the house. So, actually, speaking of another thing about CEC, anybody one of the more recent lives that they were in was the one that they did with the Kaiser guy, the U.S. Kaiser rep, and he was mentioning how they've got a Kaiser sent him an insane amount of swag stuff, and they kind of forgot to give it away, more of it away at Blade Show, I guess, or some of it didn't come in time for Blade Show in Atlanta. So he's just got like bucket loads, boxes and boxes of Kaiser swag. So I'm hoping in the order, because remember last Friday I showed you guys and went ahead and picked out three knives, Kaiser knives, two of the same. The new guy is one of the models. I've ordered two of those, and then I ordered the Kaiser Genie, right? So the Genie I'm gonna at least play with for a little while and enjoy using, and probably keep. I don't know. We'll see. But then I planned on the two Kaiser new guys. I planned on giving away one to one of y'all, and then the other one keep or possibly, I don't know. I don't know if the wife will prefer that one over the metal one. Speaking of the wife, there's Mrs. Urban. So when I get those new guys, I ordered the ones that are the purpley colored dyed Rich Light, which Rich Light is basically just paper micarta that uses a different type of resin mixture to hold it all together. I'm talking about I'm talking about the new knife that I got from Kaiser at Blade Show for free. The one that's got all the drawings, etchings put on it, black aluminum handle. So I ordered the two of them off of Kaiser's website, and they're supposed to get here. I was hoping that they were going to get here by today before the live, but because of the holiday, that was kind of like a don't know what's going to happen, how quickly things are going to get shipped during this time. So they are not here yet. They supposedly are or left Jacksonville, Florida, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from me. Early in the morning, like 3 a.m. time frame. So I don't know if they'll come in the mailbox within the next hour, or if I'll get them tomorrow, or might not get them till Monday or Tuesday. The USPS website says Tuesday, but usually if it's left the Florida Jacksonville mail post, then I'm usually getting it in the next 2 to 3 days. So I'm sure they'll be here before Tuesday. But I planned on, when I got those, that I was going to bleach one of them, the scales off of one of them, and then re-writ dye them and get a more red than purple. So it'll be like that not a rose red, but like red that's like leans towards the purple realm color, which Mrs. Urban absolutely loves that shade of red. So I don't know if she's gonna want to commandeer that one and give up the metal one that I got for the aluminum handled one that I got for free at the Kaiser dinner. So we'll see. We'll make that determination, and we will do. And I'm also hoping that in that package, Kaiser sent me a good chunk of swag. I mean, if you order 3 Kaiser knives, you would think that they'd send you a decent amount of swag, right? I only got a few things from Blade Show, Kaiser wise, but I'd like to next Friday do that bigger Kaiser giveaway, or maybe even stretch it to 2 giveaways, perhaps. But I don't know. Do you guys want me to do a knife giveaway today? Should I do a giveaway today? I might possibly have something that I'd be willing to let go of. Possibly. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. I just... you know, I'm not bagging on anybody, but come here. I'm not upset about it. It doesn't keep me up at night. But when I send people things as either giveaways or gifts, I do greatly appreciate either an Instagram post or an email, or mentioning in one of the lives, not only did you get it, but that you appreciate it. That's important, wouldn't you think? Right? Wouldn't that be important to you? It's important to me. So I'm not calling anybody out. This is just a friendly reminder. I don't expect a beautiful handwritten novel-sized letter in good old snail mail as a thank you note. I don't expect that. Hell, I don't even do that anymore these days. But it would be nice. It is nice to get something. And most of y'all do. The vast majority of y'all do. and of course, yes, brand new it goes above and beyond, and he sends something in return, which is, how can you not love this man for that? You want all the 2 toe knives? That's cool. Yeah, so it is. I mean, and that's just kind of I guess just a general reminder for anybody and everybody. Sometimes we all need that. It's like, hey, when you get something, you don't always have to send something back, but at least acknowledge, like, hey, man, I got it. It's awesome. Really grateful for it. It's really sweet. So just something bare minimum, simple. But it's, I guess, for a lot of us, it's really easy to forget. We just straight up forget. So, we did for our 4th of July yesterday. We really didn't do a whole lot. The kids, all 6 of them, or 5 out of the 6. Obviously, my daughter is with her birth mom for the second half of the summer break here. So she was not with us yesterday, which sucks. I did feel it because she usually at the dinner table. My wife, Mrs. Urban, sits on one. I sit at one end of the table, and my oldest son sits at the other end of the table. So he and I take up the heads of the dinner table, and then Miss Urban sits to my left. So we can play footsies and hold hands and shit. No. We do. Guilty. But and stare so passionately into each other's eyes. No. So she sits to my left, and then my daughter sits to my right, and then Suburban sits on the other side of my wife. So that's how that kind of goes, and then the rest of them kind of fall in everywhere else. But no, so when my daughter's not there, and you feel and see that empty chair to the right of you, it's hard not to notice that. So yeah, in the past we've gone to St. Simon's Island, which is only about a 30 to 35 minute drive. That's where Mrs. Urban works, and we usually watch the fireworks down there, down by the pier. We used to, the first couple years from when we moved into this house here, we actually, back when fireworks were not, didn't cost you an arm and a leg, even though every year it costs somebody an arm and a leg because they're stupid and they blow up themselves. But no, for two summers we bought a whole bunch of fireworks, and I had like racks that I made, wooden racks that held like 8 of your mortar tubes that you shoot the fireworks out of, the bigger ones. And I had by the second summer I had 2 racks, 2 or maybe 3, I think just 2 racks, but we're talking like 16 tubes, mortar tubes, to shoot fireworks out of. And the last time that I did this, I grabbed a buddy in the neighborhood to help me light them. But like, we put on one hell of a show for like 2 years in a row. But the last time we did that, enough debris with the wind, a little bit of enough of a breeze that we had, that it really scattered a lot of debris from them over into the neighbors' yards across the street from me. And I spent at least an hour cleaning up, going around with a 5-gallon bucket and picking up all that debris as best I could the next day. And that was not fun. I did not. The neighbors were not thrilled about it, and I felt bad about it. So we put a stop to that and said, all right, that's enough. It's not worth upsetting the neighbors that much with the debris and feeling bad about that and having to put all of that time and effort going over and picking up all of my garbage out of their yards. It's just, we really should not be doing that big of a presentation, launching off that much stuff in one night in a somewhat tight residential neighborhood. So then we'd go to St. Simon's Island and watch down at the pier, and that's always cool, and that's what Mrs. Urban wants to go back to next year, is watching them at the pier there, because they shoot off a good bit there, and then also you can see from St. Simon's Island, you can see Jekyll Island, which is just like across the pond type distance from one pier to their pier down on their island. You can see their fireworks going off too. So it's you kind of get like two for one type deal. And yeah, it's just it better presentation, obviously, than what we can do at home. But also, this year we went just to downtown Brunswick with the idea of the fact that we didn't want to deal with traffic getting off the islands because it's bad after your 4th of July fireworks show. It sucks having to get off of the island. Just so many cars and traffic. It's just so backed up. Like even if you wait a good 45 minutes before you get in your car, it's still another hour and 20 minutes before you get home. Spook Doozle, what you doing, man? We're just talking about at the moment. I'm talking about our fireworks show, places that we go to and what we usually have been doing the last 4 or 5 years. But yeah, so this year was not that impressive. I mean, it was good. It just wasn't great. Going to the downtown Brunswick area, which the idea was it's only like 12 minutes down the road, and getting home didn't take more than 30 minutes with traffic. So that was the beauty of it, because then we came home and we set off a few things in the driveway and in the front yard. So this year was kind of a little more low key for us, kind of just not going all out, not doing anything grand, and we had pizza for dinner at home, so just put pizzas in the oven, that kind of thing. So we didn't eat out. We didn't go to any big parties or anything. Yeah, it was just a really chill 4th of July for us. I didn't even grill out. I had actually done that just a handful of days ago, so I was like, we don't need to invest in all that. And the kids were not, like, besides suburban and my daughter, which wasn't here. Those two are really, out of the 6 kids, those two are the ones that are still enthusiastic about that stuff. The other kids they're just so zoned in and honed in to their social media and the gaming systems, and just they want to be on their tablets all the damn time or on the PlayStation all the damn time. And so, I mean, Cassie, my stepdaughter, Mrs. Urban's daughter from her first marriage, she was into it. She likes to do it. I don't trust her with fireworks. It was a little sketchy watching her with the sparklers in her hands. It's just like, don't do anything stupid, Cassie. Don't do anything stupid. No, she was fine. But yeah, so she was into it, but Riley's always into it, and my daughter Zoe is always into it. They've not grown up too much and gotten too serious to not think that fireworks is cool. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Another bit of news today. My older son, Mr. Cody. I took him to the DMV this morning, and he passed his little test to get his driver's permit, his learner's permit. He turned 15 in the spring here, in April, so he's got his learner's permit now. So yay for me! Now I got to get another hat, driving instructor hat, to wear, and teach that sucker how to drive in today's mad world of terrible drivers on the roads. So woohoo for me! I'm not looking forward to this. At the same time, I'm a little looking forward to it. So it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. I think he'll be pretty good. I don't have like really any concerns for him being able to become a decent driver and a good driver and not destroy my car. Uh, my daughter, on the other hand, like many young females are, they're a little unsure of themselves. A lot of them seem to lack, uh, have a little less confidence in their abilities to do mechanical things like that. Uh, so, and they like to second guess themselves. They're so indecisive. And like you see this, I see this every day on the road. And it just so happens because of the way a female's brain works so much more differently than male brains work. It's really interesting how that happened. But you see so many female drivers. Not all of them, but so many of them. It's obvious when they're sitting at traffic lights or at intersections, and they're just like so unsure of when is it safe for me to pull out, when is it safe for me to go. And they just like they're so hard, lead-footed on the brakes. I see it all the time. I don't know about y'all, but I see it all the time. And it's just like, is my daughter going to be one of those, or is she going to be one of the few that I can get enough confidence in herself? Mrs. Urban is not like that. She's one of the few that I am fortunate to not have to go and wrap myself up in 5 pounds of bubble wrap before I get in the car when she's driving. She's a pretty good driver. She is a little heavy on the brakes, and this was yesterday. Yesterday we were out and about, and first, like right after lunchtime, we went out for a couple of things, and I was driving. And when I drive, Mrs. Urban always gets a little nervous. Sometimes she freaks out just a bit when car in front of me, brakes, and she doesn't feel me slowing down because of how gentle and gradual I am on the brake pedal. In very heavy contrast to the way she handles the brake pedal. So, so, so sometimes I scare her. Sometimes it really makes her nervous. But no, Mrs. Urban's a good driver. Knock on wood, neither one of us have been involved in any car accidents, at least not any car accidents of any significant damage on any vehicles. Yeah, yeah, because Lord, I can't imagine, and that's what, as a parent of a young student driver, that's my fear, is that you kid crashes the car, and and you have to go through all that hassle, all that work of getting the vehicle repaired and having a temporary replacement vehicle if need be, and or just dealing with insurance companies. Yes, Riley. Hi, what you need? At least an hour. At least an hour. No, sweetheart. He fell asleep. Little man fell asleep last night in the recliner chair, cuddling up with mommy. Yeah, yeah. Usually it's me. He usually does that with me. But last night he felt the need for love from mama. Yeah. Because if we're in the evening in my bedroom, and Mrs. Urban and I's bedroom, and we're watching a movie, uh, and he's laying with us, he always goes to my side and tries to steal my pillow. Don't you? Yeah, guilty.
It's so cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, get out of here.
Hey,
Go do something. What? What? The light bulb?
no.
This?
Oh, next to it.
This? These?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show them that.
Oh, I showed them those last Friday.
Show them again.
Now, get out of here. Go on.
Look.
Hey, you want to run out to the mailbox and check the mail, see if the mail came?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
You the urban. Yeah, right? Right? Oh, like it's terrible. And so, I mean, I've already been over the first half of the summer. I've been trying to, when I drive and I have my oldest son with me, I try to go through with him and explain things to him of why I do what I do and what's the right thing to do in different driving scenarios, and point out mistakes other drivers make, and then point out um, things that people do that are the right way to do it. So, oh, you have a Tundra? I didn't know that, or if I did, I forgot. Um, yeah, the Tundra is a big truck. Like I test drove one of those. I think maybe 7 or 8 months ago.
Nothing there.
Nothing. All right. Thank you for looking. But, yeah, I forget how long ago it was. It was close to a year ago. I think it was last fall. I actually took Mrs. Urban with me. She went with me, and we test drove both the Tacoma and the Tundra, and I really, yes, it does. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. It's got some jump to it. That thing, it's a really good truck. It's a really good truck. And then the problem is that you pay a lot of money for one nowadays, used or new, especially new. But even the used Tundras, the ones that are like 2 or 3 years old, they still want a lot of money for it. We were just a couple of them were probably in the chat for KC's live a couple hours ago, and yeah, about 3 or 4 hours ago. So, yeah, the Tundras. What do they go for? Even a used one, I think a 1 year old Tundra with about 45,000 miles on it, which is a lot for a 1 year old truck. Still goes for like 55,000, right? Approximately, give or take $5,000. And it just Tundras are expensive trucks. Uh, yeah, but when? What year is yours, and when did you buy it? What year is the truck, and what year did you purchase it? Dang, Ross, you got a Tundra too? 50,000 for a new truck with 47,000 miles on it. Yeah, see, I was right. I was pretty much on the ball with that. So, yeah, I personally, I want a truck for two reasons. One, um, I absolutely love and pretty much insist on having both of our vehicles being able to tow either and all of the utility trailers. I have an enclosed trailer, a nice uh, black and silver enclosed trailer that's in awesome shape, that I've had for I think maybe 7 years now, 6 or 7 years, uh, with great tires on it, and it's the backdrop uh, fold down back to it rather than the doors. It's got the one door on the side, but yeah, it's was it 10 by 5? Yeah, so it's not a huge one, but it's a good size one. Uh, it weighs about 870 pounds, empty, and I don't like to fill it more than about 12 to 1500 pounds worth of stuff. So I've got to have something that can without struggle tow 3,000 pounds. So I don't need a big truck, and I don't want a truck that, I mean, all trucks eat gas, but I'd rather get a truck that gets 25 miles to a gallon instead of a truck that gets 15,000 or 15 miles to a gallon, right? So the fact that I don't need a big truck, and whatever truck I buy, what I get needs to be on the side of the spectrum of getting better gas mileage than worse gas mileage. So I don't need a big truck, and I don't want to pay for a really big truck when I don't need one. I want a small truck. I want a small truck that gets better gas mileage than others, and yeah. So yeah, the Tundra gets somewhere between 15 and 17 average, and I want something that gets closer to 20 to 22. Would always be the goal. Yeah, so your old Tahoe gets about 22. What on probably on the highway, or is that average? Is that it? Because and that's an 03. See, my parents had I think theirs was like a 98, and it got about 19 miles per gallon on the highway. Average, it probably got about 16, 17, just a little bit less. Yeah, I think you got like 19 to 20 on the highway, and then about 16, 17 in the city. Yeah. I drove, yeah, the black Chevy Tahoe that my parents had. That's what I drove for a little bit, and until I got my little two-door Ford Explorer that I had as my actual first vehicle, and that thing got, because it was a two-door, so it was a little bit lighter of a truck. It actually got pretty good gas mileage. I forgot what it would get. I couldn't tell you. What what am I at fault for now? Uh, what why is everyone talking? It's not my fault. It's KC's fault. It's KC's fault. He got me thinking about it. And I want the SUV that I have now. It's a Mitsubishi Outlander with the third row split seat. So it's more of a kid hauler than it is a toy hauler. It's it's my little it's my cool looking minivan for hauling all the little shits. But yeah, no, I need a truck because I want that truck bed to be able to throw some lumber in rather than having to tie it to a roof rack, or you know drag out the trailer and hook up the trailer just to get a couple sheets of plywood and some 2x4s. I would love to have a truck bed to be able to throw that stuff in the back of, you know, and not have to deal with a trailer. And then when we go camping and stuff, to along with having the small little trailer that I built that holds 90% of our camping gear, it would be nice to be able to put another 10 to 15% of camping gear in the bed of the truck with the dog in his car crate, or in his dog crate, not car crate, dog crate. It would just be nice to have that extra cargo area. So yeah, I just that's the next vehicle I want, is a small pickup truck. So uh, Toyota is coming out with the Toyota Stout, which is basically the Toyota Helix that they've been making and selling overseas for like a damn near decade. So they're basically transforming that one and taking that truck, reconfiguring it, and calling it the Stout and bringing that to the U.S. Probably most likely start seeing a few of those here and there at dealerships within the next 6 to 12 months. And it's supposed to be, it's basically Toyota's U.S. market answer to the Ford Maverick, which everybody should know that the Ford Maverick is basically Ford's updated version of the old Ranger pickup truck. Just a small pickup truck that has good capabilities, but yet is on the smaller side, easy to park, easy to fit in parking spaces without a 10-foot long bed. And that's one pet peeve that I hate about big, like the really, really big trucks, is most of the time people suck at parking them. And many of your parking lots these days, the parking spaces are not really big enough for those massive pickup trucks. Yeah. I had an uncle on my mom's side. One of my mom's brothers. He had, I have no idea what he has now, but he had a little green Ford Ranger for the longest time when I was a kid. Oh, B&A, you're talking about? Yeah, I could probably pull up pictures so that we know what the hell we're talking about. Toyota new trucks. Try to just get some images here for you and present date. All right, so I think you're talking about this one, right, B&A? This guy. It gives you basically a single cab front, super similar to your Toyota Tundra, or not Tundra, Tacoma. It's similarly built to the Tacoma, but then you get a bed, a modular bed that is what I just said, modular, in the fact that you can build it up as a construction type bed, that you can put all kinds of different types of toolboxes and tops to it, and Toyota is supposedly, from what I've read, they're making this guy with the idea that Toyota is going to build and have different bed kits that you can purchase. So when you buy the truck, you select what outfitted bed configuration you would like to have. You can buy one, you can buy two, you can buy 5 different configurations for facilitating whether you intend to use it as a plumbing truck, as a mobile roadside assist truck with maybe a winch attached to the back of it, or an electrician's truck, a plumber's truck, a whatever. You could outfit it for all of your water sports, for hauling kayaks or doing putting a jet ski on the back of it. Like there's so many ideas that Toyota is spitting around for this particular truck model. But here's the Stout. This is the one, and I'll blow it up here. Mute it. Come on, commercial. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Here's just another YouTuber talking about it. But yeah, so there's the Toyota Stout. And from my understanding, the Toyota Stout is basically going to be like what the Toyota Tacoma started out as in the early 2000s, size wise. Like that's what they're going back to instead of because over the last 7-8 years, the Tacoma has just like slowly gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, more space in the cab area, starting to offer a 6 foot bed, six or 6.5 foot bed rather than the 5 and 5.5 foot beds. Just stretching it out, making it wider, more interior volume, uh, better leg room and elbow room and all that jazz. And it's just become a bigger truck. So the Stout is basically going to replace what the little tiny Tacomas used to be years ago. And it's supposed to be, if my memory serves right, it's supposed to have a market price of somewhere around $25,000 to $27,000. So it's not gonna. Hopefully, with that mindset, it won't have all the damn bells and whistles coming as stock, you have to buy it this way with all these bells and whistles. I hope they do less bells and whistles. I mean, obviously, I want powered windows and powered door locks, and absolutely appreciate, especially on a truck that I'm going to be hooking up trailers with, a rear view camera. But I really hope that, I mean, in-dash navigation screen would be cool, would be nice, but I don't like vehicles having an overwhelming amount of bells and whistles. That's not for me. I just don't need that, and I don't want to pay extra $2, $3, $5,000 to have all that crap either. I am happy to be without that. All right, and that's how I feel about it. Really, Ross, you think they'll after dealer markup? Well, also another thing that I've heard is that Toyota is leaning in all serious thought process, leaning towards going the direction of not supplying so many vehicles to dealerships and setting up more like your was it Carvana, or there's a couple of companies where you shop and you pick out the vehicle you want and you just buy it and they deliver it to your house, where they actually deliver the vehicle to your house. So supposedly Toyota's seriously exploring the idea of advertising and put more strain on their consumers doing that. Straight up buying their vehicles from Toyota, and Toyota brings it to your house. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, Carvana does that, and I think there's like one or two other companies that do that. For the most part, I would say that the consumer market has been uneasy about the idea of doing that, but with these younger generations, with all these kids that just they purchase everything online, it's probably the smarter way to go. It's probably the smarter way to go. Most of these kids are young drivers these days. They're so intimidating and not intimidating, but intimidated by dealerships and sales associates and how that works, how the car buying process works at a dealership. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, and part of that is the fact that a lot of these dealerships put so much of that stress on these young car buyers in their tactics, their sales tactics, when these younger generations are they're not most of them are not used to more than 5 to 10 minutes of face-to-face interaction with people, like, period. uh, and that's really sad. That's really sad that as a whole society is becoming more and more like that. But yeah, exactly, direct to consumer. And part of the reason why in the article that I read about that is that uh, your faithful, your loyal customers, consumers of Toyota vehicles, and also Honda. Honda, I think, is also exploring the idea of doing this too. They don't have it as bad dealing with dealerships as Toyota does. Toyota has a bigger problem with all of these privately owned dealerships jacking up prices by adding on these bogus fees of, port handling fees and prepping, vehicle prep fees, a fee for the guy that pulls all the little sticky, the clear shit off of the finishes and plugs the thing and sets the clock on the radio, that kind of stuff. Like the person that, puts in the floor mats and pulls all the paper shit out of it. Like does not warrant an extra $1,200 to $1,500 added to the price tag of the vehicle. It just doesn't. You're not paying those people anywhere near what that costs to do that. Yeah, you're just needing to cut out the middleman. You're needing to cut out all these extra little, very low time consuming and energy consuming uh, parts of the process of getting a vehicle from the factory where it's made to the consumer's driveway. I mean, just all those extra fees, you got to cut out some of those, and so many of them are just like bogus charges. Like a port fee should, if the company pays $2,500 a quarter, a quarter, so 3 to 4 months, 3.5 to 4 months out of the year, they pay $25,000 to the port authorities in order to be able to use their port for their. I got some little stupid bug flying around. I'm gonna hit myself. uh, for them to be able to bring their ships with all their vehicles on it and unload it, and then yeah, if they do that, then you shouldn't be paying. I mean, just the numbers don't add up for a customer to pay $1,500 or $2,000 as a port fee. That just doesn't make any sense. The math does not add up right there. It's these dealerships trying to just make serious bank off of each and every sale, and it's just not right. It's not right to the customers. And then they go and they employ and pay peanuts to their financial teams and their sales teams. It's just not right. What are you talking about, BNA? Oh yeah, that's it. Dang Ross. And you talking about like hell, when I was in the market for a larger vehicle once I had my second child, and we were back over here instead of being in California. And I wanted a vehicle with more trunk space and more space in the back seat for 2 car seats to be back there, and all that jazz. Uh, I was looking at the Jeep Patriots, like right at the time where Chrysler was about to just ruin them, just destroy the quality of those vehicles. Jeep was still owned by whoever owned Jeep right before Chrysler, or right at the time that Chrysler bought them, and Chrysler was about to start doing their shit to them instead of what the previous people who owned Jeep was doing with them. But yeah, so when I was looking at that, like they wanted an extra $750 to $900 for the blue ones. The blue ones had the upcharge of almost $1,000, somewhere between $500 and $1,000, depending on what dealership you went to look at the vehicles. For the blue color, no other color, just the blue ones. It's just like, what? Why? Why is the blue paint costing that much more? It makes no sense. What up, Bluminati? How you doing, man? So, all right, we can quit talking about trucks. I know some of y'all are like, why are we talking about trucks so much today? There's actually another thing I wanted to share. Y'all check this out. I know most people don't bother with Blade HQ anymore, for different reasons. But I gotta share this with you guys. Check this out. Let me make sure volume is up.
Nobody asked, and ye shall receive.
Yeah, nobody asked, we provided. There you go.
It's not Blade HQ. This is Ben Peterson with NAFS. So that's Ben and Jamie on Ben's NAFS channel. So I mentioned Blade HQ because they have a working relationship with Blade HQ still.
Absolutely.
Additionally, like I mentioned, third week running, we have a.
But look at this. Look at what Ben's holding in his hand right there. Look at what he's got right there. Y'all see that shit? You know what that is? All right, let me play it out the rest of the way.
Vegetable on the table. Austin, I think this is your week.
Oh, I am so honored to introduce to you the Pickle Sickle. How about that guy right there? This is your small version of your Caratana, your corn on the, or your sword on the cob.
Yes.
You got a little sickle there. So one of the ugliest and most beautiful things that I've ever seen.
Here's the thing, like, this is why we love the 3D printing stuff. Yes, we can do it on our knives, but also when one of the mats walks in with something random like this, we say, yes, please, this is strange, and you need it. Now, the thing I noticed about the Pickle Sickle, you definitely want to have it in that ceramic grip.
Kind of claw grip.
I would say this is probably for, like, large hands in the sense that, like, you're going to have some meat hooks to really get this working.
That's a user print if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, county fair, if you and I wanted to start a new business,
seriously,
selling these suckers at the county fair would be good. They are open source, I believe.
Yeah.
We print them, we download them, print them on our 3D printers.
Yeah, we're not selling these, we're just having fun with them.
Just having fun with them. And I think that's a huge part of everything that we're doing here is, like, how do you make this stuff fun? Because yes, we got to sell pocket knives, and you'll see pocket knives on Les Show. But also, like, how do we have a good time with it? How do we make it enjoyable?
And it fits in our ecosystem, right? It's all part of our philosophy. The rock scales would not be a possibility without kind of what we're...
Without the Pickle Sickle.
Without the Pickle Sickle. I think that's the correct way to put that.
I love it.
I love that too. I think that is so cool. Somebody totally needs to do that for Stevie. I don't know if who's in this our community who's got a 3D printer, plastic printer that they could do this. Because Ben mentions that it might be probably is open sourced. So yes, the Pickle Sickle. How awesome is that? Like, Stevie absolutely needs one of these. He really does. Like, that would be so cool. If I could, Loot has, okay, I need to message Loot and send him a link to this video and be like, look, dude, you've got to make one of these for Stevie and one of these for Maddie. Like, please make a couple of these for those guys, since they're both kind of like in with all that, with the whole pickle thing. I think Maddie would love to have one too, but for sure Stevie. Like, we gotta back up and to where when he whips out his pickle. Here we go.
Yes, please. This is strange, and you need it. Now, the thing I noticed about the Pickle Sickle, you definitely want to have it in that ceramic grip.
Kind of claw.
I would say this is probably for, like, large hands, and you need it. Now, the thing I noticed about the Pickle Sickle, you definitely want to have it in that ceramic grip.
Kind of claw grip.
I would,
like, hell yeah. I almost want one, but that would be so cool for Stevie to have one of those. That is great. That is so awesome. Yeah. Let me shoot a message out to Luke, because that would be so cool. I want to see those out there. uh, I think that's awesome. I think that's totally awesome. I watched that literally about 5 minutes before starting this live, and I was like, no way. Like, that is so awesome. So cool. Oh, Ninja Gamer 009. That would be my older son. That would be Mr. Cody. That got his driver's permit today. Yeah, he says you need to hold it like a karambit, but isn't. Yeah, that's not how you hold a karambit. But forgive Ben for not being savvy in how tactical knives are used and held, because he's a desk guy. He's a business desk guy, so forgive him for that. Yeah, right. Bloom. Imagine a mugger rolling up on you. Give me your wallet, and you just fling out the pickle sickle. Like, don't mess with me, man. Oh, that would be. Or Mimo. Mimo should totally insert that. I'm telling you, if we get Stevie one of these, and Stevie works with Mimo on doing a Crocodile Dundee scene imitation or reenactment of the, hey man, give me your wallet, and the dude pulls out his little switchblade stiletto, and then Crocodile Dundee pulls out his big Bowie knife, and but insert Stevie and have Stevie whipping out his pickle sickle. Like, that would be oh man, that would be comedy gold for the internet there. That would be totally comedy gold. So yeah, that would be really sweet. Yours would not be anything like mine, bud, because of the fact that you do not get into the stuff that I get into. And I wouldn't want you to. You got to make it your own, kiddo. You got to make it your own. You do you on your channel. But yeah, so most likely the SUV that I have right now, it's a 2014. That's probably going to be his, unless he wrecks it. Most likely that'll be his first vehicle that he gets to drive in high school and onward, until he can somehow afford to buy his own. Yeah. Mr. Ninja Gamer here is much more into the karambits and the in your butterfly knives. So yeah, he likes to do those. B&A, yes, he does have the urge to eventually get a motorcycle license and have a motorcycle. He will not be like me in getting a crossover style modernized cruiser like the new aged Rebel that I have. He wants more of that sport bike crotch rocket look. He likes those bikes, which is makes sense for for his age. Most of the younger guys go for that style bike. They usually go for your sport bikes or your touring bikes, or not touring, adventure bikes. Yeah, the taller kids, taller dudes do. Not so many of the short stacks, but yeah, they like the knobby tires and the fast looking. Yep, he wants a Ninja. He likes the Ninjas. He'll probably get a what's the lowest Ninja? Is that a 200? $250, right? Yeah, the 250Rs. Which would be a good starting bike for him. They're light, they're nimble, pretty easy to master. Gives you six speeds, 6 gears to it, so you can learn to shift all the way up and down. Yep, that would be a good bike for him to learn on. Good first bike, not too much power. Yeah, the 250R would be good for him. Oh, all right, Fook Dizzle. You have a good weekend, man. Oh, you like the GSXR? That's a bit much for you, buddy. Yeah, he's all about performance. You listen to this kid was talking to me. As a congratulations on getting his permit. I took him to Buffalo Wild Wings for lunch. We did that for lunch today after he got his permit. Yeah, that's right. That is the bike that you just recently got. I'll have to show him it because didn't you send me a picture? I'm pretty sure you sent me a picture. I'll have to show Cody yours. All right, Bluminati. Have a good one, man. Take care. I'm drinking coffee and ice water at the same time. I'm going back and forth between the two. The coffee is spiked with a little bit of was it McCormick's Irish Cream? He's got a little bit of booze in it. Yeah, where's I got my phone? Well, come here, Cody. Get your ass off of the couch and come in here. B&A, which one is it? Is it the yellow and black one, or is it the blue one? Okay, the red, white, and blue one. I didn't know there was red on it. I couldn't really tell in the photo. There's a little bit of red. Yeah. Yeah, that's a sweet bike. Obviously not my jam.
What?
Here's B&A's bike.
Actually looks good, but I would have gone with different colors.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you the one that I like.
And then he sent me his other one, which is the yellow. What's the yellow one? Is that your? Oh, that's a GSXR too.
See, this is the one that I want.
Did you get the yellow one, or was that just one that you were looking at? Because that's the yellow one that B&A sent me a picture of, and that thing looks sick too. That's like got
That's the
the
one I want.
Bumblebee vibes. Here's the one that he wants. Black and red. Can never go wrong with black and red.
I know.
Those colors go good together no matter what. Yeah, I read your text. I don't have time for making that dish. Tomorrow I'll make my famous chicken enchilada casserole. I'll do that tomorrow. We can do that tomorrow. I'll do my chicken enchilada casserole. Oh, I love that dish. It's a simple recipe, but it's got, I mean, it's a casserole, so it's got all the layers of the different items. But maybe I'll do a video for the channel since on how I do the chicken enchilada casserole. My mom years ago, like probably 20 years or so ago, she pulled this recipe out of some magazine. I don't know if it was a Southern Living magazine or whatever magazine she pulled it out of, but it's a recipe for a Hispanic chicken enchilada casserole. And in the recipe, it uses just regular tortilla shells, well, you do two things. You can either use soft tortilla shells as your base, or you can use hard, crunchy tortilla chips. I would say that the chips definitely work way better because the tortilla shells, the soft shells, end up kind of sticking to the bottom of your pan, and it's a pain in the ass to cut through that and dig it up with your spatula or whatever. And the chips end up giving it, more of that tortilla crunch, that taco-y type, crunch. That's more satisfying than a mushy tortilla shell, soft shell. But then I took it a step further and do your nacho cheese flavored Dorito chips, and I use those in my layers as the in place of the tortilla shells or chips, because it adds a little more flavor, and who doesn't fucking love the nacho cheese Doritos? Makes it a little more costly to make the dish, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Like, it's almost a night and day difference. But yeah, it's a very Americanized enchilada casserole. Very Americanized. But it's a good dish. And obviously, I mean, the family is like, I can't go a month without making it because they're begging me to make it. Yeah, that was the Livewire. Is a very interesting bike. I've never bothered to go to a dealership and test drive one. Partially because I don't like the idea of an electric motorcycle. It's hard to take that seriously as an everyday commuter, like an everyday, something to actually have on a regular basis, drive on a regular basis. And there's just something, if you ride motorcycles, you know what I'm talking about. There's just something about having that engine right there and the sounds of the exhaust as you're going through your gears. Like there's you get a totally different feeling. And like I can't imagine losing all of that, just tossing that away like it doesn't matter to ride an electric motorcycle. But one thing that I thought would be cool, and it's not a motorcycle. It's really a scooter, but it looks freaking cool as hell. Like if I lived on an island, and instead of golf carts or instead of electric bikes, again, if I'm living on an island, I'm going to have money. So that should be implied in the fact that if I were to live on an island, I would have money in order to buy a couple of these things. And I would choose these that I'm about to show over a golf cart, because I fucking hate golf carts being on the roadways. I'm sorry. Golf carts belong at your residence, in neighborhoods, in neighborhood streets, or on golf courses. At your residence, zipping around through your neighborhood to go to friend's house for drinks and game night or whatever, and on the golf course. They have absolutely no goddamn business being on the main streets. I'm sorry, they just don't. I hate it. I hate dealing with golf carts, especially when young teenagers are at the wheel on the main roads out there. Oh, that irritates the hell out of me. Like, I don't know. I've never bothered to look at it because it's not like I can do anything about it. But is that legal for a 13, 14-year-old without even a driver's permit to be driving a golf cart on a main road, on a road that has a 25 to 35 mile an hour speed limit? Not in a neighborhood, but on an actual road outside of the neighborhoods. Like, I don't know where or when or if that's even legal for them to do that. But yeah, that I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. It does. It absolutely does. But if I had the money and had the ability to, let me get rid of the whole spin thing, get a couple of these, this is what I would do. This is what I would have to zip around on an island or in a small small community. These are cool. These actually look cool. Like, I would love to have one of these if I were living in a place that would deem it reasonable to own one and use one. Yeah, I think these are awesome. They go, they're a 3,000 watt motor. So top speeds are probably around 35, 40 miles per hour. Maybe faster, I don't know. And there's a handful of companies that make these, and they all look very, very similar to one another. Here's what's the plus one? Oh, the plus one gives you a sidecar. How cool is that? You can get one with a sidecar. Ah, that's great. You put your dog in it. You put your dog in it. Oh, that would be hilarious. I'd love that. I'd rock around. I'd put my dog in that. if I had the one with the sidecar. But no, these actually look pretty sweet. I'd rock one of those. I'm sure y'all know I would. Y'all know me well enough. I'd definitely rock one of those. But that's cool. I like the idea of that. I do. So everything, like, I've actually legitimately considered putting a sidecar on my motorcycle. But everything that I've heard from people when talking about it, and I've read that many motorcycles are not, the frames are just not made for handling sidecars, for handling, 300, 400 pounds between the car and the person riding in it being attached to the side of the frame like that. Just most motorcycles are not made for that to be done to them, because it puts extra strain on the motorcycle's original suspension and the way the rear brakes and the and the tires wear, and there's just it does so much. It affects so much to the bike that at least that's what I've been told by many in things that I've read. So I don't know how much truth there is to it. Maybe what I'm getting is just from some very biased people. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I kind of dismissed it. Plus, they're expensive. Like legitimate sidecars for motorcycles. Even I've poked around and looked at used ones on Facebook Messenger, or not Messenger, Facebook Marketplace, and as well as Craigslist. And yeah, even people selling used ones, they're a little bit much. A little bit much. I mean, they look cool as hell, but they're a little bit much. Painted it in glow in the dark paint. Does it glow? No, it doesn't glow. He painted it in glow in the dark paint, but it doesn't glow. Oh. Anybody? Let's see. What's the latest and greatest? Let me look at DLT. DLT trading. I was looking at what White Mountain has spat out recently, and yeah, nothing's caught the eye. Finch Knives is spitting out their pipeline. And anybody buy a new knife within the last week? Anybody get any grails recently? Yeah, exactly. They kind of remind you of riding a scooter around town. It's just that noise. And there's nothing macho, nothing exciting about that. Here goes my chair piston giving up again. So I'm like slowly sinking down. But here, if we look at these, the Finch pipelines coming out soon. Almost another 2 weeks. Gives you that kind of a blade shape. I don't know, Finch ain't really doing it. I mean, I love my most recent Finches, the Stinger and the Hellfire. I'm not a big Finch fan. I think they're priced about $10, $15 higher than they should, but I get their expenses and how they have their knives made with having to have a middleman, I suppose. There's the tactile chupacabra. Magna cut with that shark lock style lock. They had those at Blade Show. Again, didn't really impress me. It is bigger. It's a 3.3-inch blade, and it's sheep's foot blade, so I like all of that. I just don't handling that, and I didn't feel like the $330 price tag was justifiable, at least not to me. Like, I didn't like it enough to justify it being over $300. Ooh, some candles. They don't have Bath and Body Works on them. Bourbon butterscotch. I bet that smells fucking amazing. They're only $15. How big are they though? It says 8 ounces. It doesn't tell me. I don't know how 8 ounces is in a wax candle. What does that mean? What does that tell you? It doesn't tell me shit. I don't know what an 8 ounce candle means. What's the diameter of the container? That's what I want to know. What's the diameter and the height of the container? You got 3 wicks. If it's got 3 wicks, it should be fairly big. It should be at least a 4-inch diameter if you're gonna bother to put 3 wicks in it. So I mean, is that how big it is? Why don't they give you more information? There's a coffee shop one, lemon blueberry, and then they got a citronella that's only a 2 ounce. So the 2 ounce ones here have a single wick. So they must be probably somewhere around a 2.5 inch diameter. Only have a single wick. I'm guessing, because I am no candle expert. What's this tri-pack? So Wicked Clean, Wicked Rescue, and Wicked Wax. So what's the differences? 1.5 ounces. So they're even smaller than the 1 ounce or the 2 ounce one. 100% food safe, organic and vegan. Oh wow, all natural products. Wax can be used on wood, steel, epoxy, plastic, and leather. Oh, this is like a paste. Huh. All right. I knew nothing about these. What's up with these tiny little bugs in my room? Multitasking skin healer. It can be used on the lips, hands, cuticles, elbows, to alleviate dry, cracked, or irritated skin. Wicked Rescue soothes, protects, and nourishes. Okay. Wicked Clean. Just makes you smell clean. Oh no, it's to protect and maintain your knives and other metal surfaces. So the Wicked Clean is for the steel. Your Rescue is for your skin. And the Wicked Wax is for your entire knife. So you can put it on wood, steel, epoxy, plastic, and leather. I gotcha. Interesting. What do y'all think of that? Yeah, that's what B&A uses. Okay. I didn't know that they had the damn candles. Bunch of fixed blades. Ooh, a nice little clicky pins. Some Sabanzas. Some Hinderers. More Hinderer clips. There's some tripars. A bunch of Midfords. Yeah, so they haven't really gotten anything new. Again, I asked, did anybody get anything new? New knives? Any grails? Let's check out REC. River's Edge Cutlery. See what new stuff they got. Oh, they got some Protex. Revamping some Protex on the market. The Runt 5. Ooh, in the red. Ooh, that looks like fire. So, I have the Calmingo. And where did I put him? Oh, he's in the wrong order. Yeah, here he is. I love Protex. I think they have awesome automatics. But I only own 2 Protex. These are the only 2 Protex that I own. I have the arc formed Protec done auto, which is probably one of their slowest autos as far as snappy opening goes. It's not a very snappy. It's insanely smooth. I give it that. It is insanely smooth. Like, you feel absolutely nothing. It's like gravity defying, going through air type smoothness in the opening, but it's not insanely snappy. But yeah, I have this guy, and I love it. Absolutely, like, it's a stellar, and I think it's in 154. I love the double finish on the blade. It's got like a tumbled acid wash, and then on the grind and the top swedge, but then it's got a horizontal, like hand rubbed horizontal satin on the middle section there. But yeah, I want to say it's 154 cm. I don't remember exactly what it is. Or it could be S30B. I don't know. I don't remember. I really, honestly don't remember what steel is. I've had this thing for a good number of years and hardly ever carry it. Just because I don't gravitate towards autos. I just don't. Except for my Pulse, my OTF Pulse. But then I also have the Calmingo, and I know it's in 154 cm. They put that shit right there on the blade right there. If my camera would focus on it, but yeah, it's faint, but it's right there, 154 cm. There you can kind of see it, right? But yeah, I have this little guy, and I actually, between the two, I carried this guy quite a bit for quite a while. Let me get rid of their little thing. But I would have preferred when they upgraded the runt to putting MagnaCut on it and doing some other handle colors besides your typical solid black. It would be nice. I would much prefer the runt with the blade shape of the runt over the Calmingo. The Calmingo's just got a very little flat cutting edge, like on very little flat cutting edge. It just really quickly goes into that upswept curve there. And so, you really, to use the tip, like more than a 90-degree angle on the wrist to get to that tip. And I hate that. I hate that about this knife. How the tip is just so unconventional for practical use. But it's got the full-blown snappy-ass ProTech auto action. Like, you really have to hang on to this thing. Really have to pinch the hell out of it. Make sure it don't go out of your hand. Because it fires that blade out. But I would prefer the run. I really, really would. That would be cool. But again, I don't carry out the side autos, like hardly ever. I just don't gravitate to them. So I don't really see myself putting out over $100 on a knife that I'm probably just not gonna hardly ever carry. And which kind of sucks. I wish I didn't feel that way. But hey, what can you do? Oh, the other knife that I ordered, besides the Kaisers, and I was having to kind of wait for a couple of Amazon returns before I made the purchase. But let me pull it up here on Amazon. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing until I pull it up, because you guys don't need to be seeing all my orders. But I ordered, and it was one of those where, like, once they put the sale on these things, it is so damn hard to be like to not pick one up. Like the Pyrite Light with the FRN plastic handled scales, like they did a good job in that, doing that texturing. I can't wait to get this in hand to see how well it was done. But yeah, black blade of their AR RPM 9, which y'all should know, it's very comparable. It kind of sits somewhere between 14C and 154 or VG10. Like, those would be the steels that I would pretty much compare it, stack it up against. But yeah, the Pyrite, and that's that real dark blue, which I don't. Again, dark blue is not one of my favorite colors, but it looks good on some of these knives. It really does look good on some of these knives. So I ordered the dark blue one, and yeah, gonna see how much I like it. The Wharncliffe blade, does it tell me what the weight is on these things? It's not telling me in the details. I don't know what, when I get mine, I'll have to compare the weights between it and your original Pyrite. Does it tell me down here? 2.82 ounces. They kind of put that in a somewhat inconvenient place on this photo because there's the white from the sky there. Yeah, a little hard to read that, but 2.82 ounces. And the original pyrite with stainless handle is 3.7. So yeah, that's some definite weight loss difference. 3.7 down to 2.82. Whew. How light is that under 3 ounces going to feel in hand? Because normally I don't like knives weighing that little. And that's very little for a blade that's over 3 1/4 inches. Oh, that's the stainless, the steel handle. That's for the drop point. They don't have. They're not showing in comparison. What's the weight of the pyrite that has the Wharncliffe blade and the steel handles? That would be this one. That's supposedly 3.11 inches blade. So they made it bigger, or is the blade bigger? It can't be. It's got to be the same damn blade length. On the Pyrite Light Wharncliffe blade, it's got to be the same 3.11 inches or whatever it is. Let me pull out mine. I have it right up here. Let me pull out mine and ruler. So what's the measurement of mine? Yeah, it's cutting edge. It gives you like 2.85 inches of cutting edge. The actual blade length, including that choil area, yeah, puts you at 3.3. Yeah, 3.3 on the whole blade. Let me go back to you guys. Make myself big again. See if I can hold this upright without dropping the knife. So yeah, if you put the base of the cutting edge there, yeah, 2.8 and 8.5, 8.9, somewhere right in there for your cutting edge, just a hair under 3 inches. But then if you bring it down, bring it to the beginning of your choil, right there, it's that 3.3. So, yeah, but that's this guy. And he weighs a little over 3 ounces. What movie are we talking about? Oh, The Godfather. Dwayne, you got the Corgi and the Hawk. How do you like the Hawk, man? Have you carried it and used it for more than a day yet? I don't really care too much for the Hawk. Just the design of it is not me. There's the Godfather. Go back to that. So y'all can see that. Yeah, there's the Godfather. Again, a little too pokey, stabby for me. But I do like the that reverse Tonto or Warncliffe shaped blade is a much better design, blade design for that short of a blade. To me, it's just much more useful for tip usability and using 90+% of the edge rather than the Calmingo that I have. So I don't know. I've thought about selling my Calmingo, my ProTech Calmingo, in order to get a Runt 5, but I don't know how much I bother getting because it's the blade's definitely been scratched and used, and anybody gonna give me more than $60 for this thing? And is it worth selling my Calmingo for $60 to go and spend $150 on the Runt when I might not, when I probably wouldn't carry the Runt all that often? I don't know. The what's the new ProTech came out with a new auto that basically to me was like the answer to anybody who liked the Malibu or fell in love with the Malibu, but kind of sort of wish that they would have done it in an auto, offered it in an auto at least. Let me just punch in here ProTech and see. I might have passed it already. I don't know. New to old. I don't know if they've got one. There's the Warncliffe or Malibu right there with the dragon scale pattern on the handle on the aluminum. But I don't think they've gotten their newest auto that has that sheep's footy Warncliffe blade shape. Nope, they don't have it up here. Let me just do a search for it. New ProTechs. Nice. Forget what the name of it is. I checked it out at Blade Show and was like, damn, I like it, but I don't want to pay so much for one. They don't even have it up on their website yet. Their latest and greatest. Let me do new ProTech knives 2024. This guy. Here we go. I can get their volume off of there.
On these and hope to roll them out, maybe reimagined. So the
That's
new variant, and we've given it kind of the Malibu treatment, but with our very hot button lock. On this one, we've added the new deep carry, and so that tapered handle, the way it's shaped, it's super excited about. This is a Dmitry Sinkovich design. It's so different for us.
Yeah.
Dmitry and I were neighbors at a custom knife show maybe 8 or 9 years ago. and we got to talking. He bought Sinkovich
Very.
ground blade. We'll have a real spread of them in time for the blade show.
Is there a name behind that edge if that's the kind of thing you like to do?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You guys were saying this is actually the most durable DLC finish
It is.
that you do?
It's a pinch more corrosion resistance and hardness than the black DLC, and then the finish is so neat.
The table here, and we're getting ready to open the knives, and I pulled it like some autos I can't.
That as the year goes, he'll finish 25 of them exactly, individually numbered. It is, in fact, a canary diamond in the push button. Damascus, fully, like I can already see.
It was this one. It was that guy right there. I don't remember the name of it. But I mean, they'll have it in the other finishes that don't have the, the mirrored, and they'll have a more tactical version of it. But I love that. I love that handle design, and the blade shape is freaking awesome. I would not care for the way that they did that compound grind. I don't see the need for that. I'd rather them do just like the Malibu blade, either just a full flat grind, or if anything, do a hollow grind. Like that would be sweet to have that blade with a hollow grind, acid wash blade, and titanium handle. But yeah, I like that knife. That would be really sweet. I don't know what y'all think of that, but if I were to get another Protec, that would be the one that I'd lean towards. They had some non-super fancy versions. That's just the one they threw up in this video. Is that the name of it, Dang Ross? The Oligarch? Let me punch that in, see if I can't pull up. Oh, it's out of stock already. That's why. Okay. So there you go. Yeah. That's just got a flat grind. I don't think that's hollow. But that's sick. Yeah. $300. What's the blade length is 3 1/4? Yeah, 3 1/4. Yeah, blade grind flat, magnet cut. Yeah, if I was gonna get another out the side auto, it would be that one. I really like that. That looks sick to me. It's a good cutter. And of course, very snappy Protec action. I just don't need one. I don't know how much I'd carry it. Like, a part of me feels a little weird carrying the Pulse OTF and then in my one pocket, and then carrying an out the side automatic in my other pocket. Just carrying 2 automatics. To me that feels a little, I don't know, like overkill. Like, why do I need to have 2 automatics on me? But yeah, no, I like that knife. I really do. Like, I thought it was sweet. Yeah, I like that one. A part of me really wants that just for the sake of having one. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the website. You can get me one, Dang Ross. That would no. I couldn't accept a gift like that. No, I couldn't accept a gift like that. Not something that pricey. That's $300 is a lot of fun. Is a good chunk of money, no matter who you are. Kind of weird. The aluminum one is number 15 out of 100, and the expensive stainless one has, yeah, the not a gift. I know. So you would just let me borrow it for a week. Let me carry it around and open a couple pieces of mail with it, and then send it back to you. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. Yeah. I mean, it would be cool. But I don't think anybody sent me that kind of a gift, other than my parents, of course. But nobody's given me an expensive gift like that. I don't think I could accept it. I wouldn't mind, experiencing something for like that expensive for a little while, but I can never accept something like that as a gift. Have any of y'all gotten a gift of that expense? I certainly haven't. Again, not from anybody other than maybe my parents. Well, that is really nice of you. Yeah, I don't think anybody loves me that much either. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock. I think we're gonna wrap up this live today, and I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna make sure that because I want to do a giveaway, but I want it to be a good giveaway. So let me hold off on giving anything out today, and let me get those Kaisers in and that pyrite in, and we'll probably do a double giveaway next week after I get that pyrite and crank out a little video on it for the channel and provide my feedback on it, do a little comparison with the OG pyrite warning blade, and then we'll do a giveaway with the Kaiser and the pyrite next Friday. So we'll do that next Friday. All right, that sound like a game plan for you guys? Because that's what's gonna happen. But y'all take care. Y'all have a good weekend. If you're still doing a little bit of celebration with 4th of July stuff, hopefully, get together with some other friends and family that you might have not spent your time with yesterday. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Love you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.